Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Henry. And today, I'd like to talk to you of another film that I think is severely underrated. Well, actually, it's a sequel to Becky. It's called The Wrath of Becky. I think this one is a little bit shorter compared to the previous one. Yeah. The film centers on Becky after it's been quite some time. She has grown accustomed to thrill seeking when it comes to vengeance, and she currently lives with uh, someone, a foster parent, who is looking after her. But until she encounters a group of extremists that plan to, well, they have their own specific agenda. They brutally murder her caretaker, and now she's out for revenge. And why do they keep messing with Becky? Why? Because I could tell you one thing with this film. This one is a little bit more, I think, more. I think it's a little bit more kind of a cat and mouse kind of movie. It kind of reminds me of The Equalizer, a bit where Becky is uh, luring out these bad guys and taking them out one by one. And it's not as gory as the first one. There's one particular moment in the movie where there's one character that gets his head pretty much blown clean off, and that was a gory moment. But I can tell you, uh, I loved her performance in this one more compared to the other one because I like how her character evolves into um, this brutal lust for thrills and vengeance. And you see that kind of personality dive into psychomaniac in a way. I kind of like how her character has really just become a psycho, like a serial killer, but for the good guys. Based on what I've seen from her character in this movie, she really, Lily Wilson really dives into that, and she's a blast to watch. Like it's really entertaining to watch her go at it. Um, Gene William Scott. I have to say this is one of the greatest performances you ever done in your career, my man. Like you done spectacular. And I know there's another show or something that you've done where you portray like some sort of weird, unstable character. He nails it here. He nails this kind of portrayal, and I would like to see more of him to do this because to me, the span of this movie was Sheen William Scott. And his performance is so unhinged and unnerving that, at least for me, I get nervous seeing his character. His character is kind of comical, a little bit like unstable, maybe a little comic booky, but the way his character does interact with his henchmen, the way he interacts with everybody, and the way he responds is so off. And you know this guy is just totally off, and it's very, very cool to kind of see him play this character. And I would love for him to tackle more roles of this, kind of branch out, because I like to see the guy to do more work. The guy is a great actor, especially in the comedy realm, but to see him do something completely different is just so out there. It's just so immersed in this kind of character he's portraying. Um, it's crazy. Comedic actors are sometimes literally one of the best actors. Like it's just crazy, man. Like he needs to do more of this. I know there was a recent horror film he was in. Um, Unfortunately, I haven't seen that, but I love his interaction between Becky, and I love the two just going back at it. Um, but I do like that they do shift a little bit away from Becky and more onto his character and kind of give him his moment in the film. And then there is a twist in the film that's in the third act that villain wise it's a little bit like, oh, okay, didn't deviate from it. I thought it was a unique twist to really dive into it, but I thought when the twist came out, I thought it did loosen the impact of Sean William Scott's character, or at least his presence. The movie does shift into John Wick territory because the central of the story is when her caretaker gets murdered, her dog is also taken. So she's also on a revenge rescue mission to not only murder the people that took away her caretaker, but also rescue her dog. And man, I love how the film ends. It's one of those movies. It's kind of like one of those things where the crazy anti-villain, anti-hero gets a pass because of their capabilities and what they're doing. And I like from the previous film, there's a little um, artifact that she finds in the uh, first film, and they kind of touch on in the second film a bit, and then they're showing it. They're kind of building up to like a bigger plot point of the story because they're doing a sequel. Um, of what that key might represent and what that it might lead into, because I think the film is following a pattern of her character basically targeting what was the term I'm looking for and I forgot it. But it's basically she's targeting supremacist groups because from the first film, the second film, they're kind of a somewhat of a supremacist group. And then the third one, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a bigger um, cause in this third movie that she's tackling that is part of some sort of supremacy. I had a great time with this. And I like that in this one they had a little bit fun with her character and then with Sean William Scott's character. Uh, I do hope Sean Williams do get more crazy roles or just more roles to expand his range as an actor. I mean, that era of him doing American Pie is 20 years. It's gone. Okay. It's gone. And I would like for him to see more to diversify his range. And it's really sad, and at least for me, that in the Hollywood system that they would categorize a certain actor into certain things because they're so good at it. But without, and I mean, don't get me wrong, if they sometimes try to branch out and do something, they may not get the audience attraction because they don't recognize them as that. But giving them the chance to branch out and tackling other certain genres like Jim Carrey, like uh, Bruce Willis, he used to be a comedic actor back in the 80s, but from a show, and then he branched out doing Die Hard, which launched his career as a whole new form of action hero. I do hope Sean William Scott does get more of that chance to experiment with his acting, because this film here is literally one of my favorite roles of his, and I loved it. Do check it out. It's currently available on Netflix, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie. And guys, what do you consider is a very underrated film franchise that doesn't get enough attention? Because I've been wanting to see Becky for quite some time, and I'm finally glad I had the opportunity to. And I'm just loving these lower independent, and this film's from Canadian. But I'm loving these lower independent movies that are just experimenting and just going at it with stuff. It's just so wonderful. Guys, support it. Support independent film, and let me know in the comment section what is your favorite underrated movie, y'all.